Hello everyone. In this video we will be discussing about GitHub local repository. In the previous video we have seen GitHub basics. We have seen how to create branches, how to compare the main branch and the newly created branches, and how we have also seen how to operate from a different account by forking, by using fork, and we have also seen how to work in a collaborative manner between by using two different accounts. So in this video we will be seeing how do we connect it to the local repository. So what is a local repository? Local repository means you have a project in your computer and you want to use GitHub, and you want to create a repository of that project and later connect it to the GitHub. So let us see how do we create a repository for your local project and connect it to the GitHub. So first I'll be going to a folder and I'll create a new folder here. So let me call this as my test1, and I'll just load a sample Python file. I'll create a sample Python file. So I'm using Mac, so in Windows you can use Notepad. So let me write a small Python command. So hello world, and let me save this file. So let me call it as my test1.py and save in the same folder my test1. So we have saved a Python file in this folder. So now I want to create this particular project. You can consider this as a small project, and you want to create a repository and load it to the GitHub. So let us see how to do it. So in order to do it, you need to go to GitHub desktop and install GitHub desktop in your computer. If your OS is Windows, choose the appropriate version. Here it is Mac OS, so I have downloaded this and installed it. Once you install it, what you see is something like this. So it would look something like this. You will not even have this when you are created first time. So you just need to add an existing repository. You can create a new repository, but you can also do the same thing by adding existing repository. It will ask you to create a new one here also. So local, it asks for the path. So let us choose the path. So I want to create my test1 as a local repository. So here it is asking, this directory does not appear to be a Git repository. Would you like to create a repository here instead? Yes, I want to create a repository. So it initialize this repository with a readme file. It will create a readme file in the repository. So now just click on this, you will have a new repository called my test1. So this is a new repository in your local machine. This is your GitHub desktop, which is installed in your local computer, and you have created a project called as my test1 into a repository. Now you need to connect it to your GitHub account. So as you can see here, currently GitHub account does not have that my test1 repository. So once I publish that from GitHub desktop, it will automatically appear in my GitHub account. So publish repository, let me click on this. So the name of the project or repository is my test1. So publish repository. So once I click this, and if I go to my GitHub account and refresh this screen, you can see here my test1 repository. So you created a small project within your laptop or a computer into a repository and linked it to your GitHub account. So this, once you open this, you can see this is the main branch. This is a my test1.py which contains print hello world. So now I want to create different branches and do the same thing as what we have seen in the previous video. So let me create a, so let me go to my home page, and this is where I have my repository, and let me create a branch here. So you can create a branch. So let me call this as my branch1. So, and you can see here create branch. So click on this, you will have a new branch. So this is a new branch, which means it's a copy of the main branch. You can see here, this is the main branch and this is the my branch one. So now what I'm going to do, since you created a new branch, let us now see in the local machine. So in the local machine, you can click on the fetch origin, so that whatever is being there in the GitHub account, it would be reflected here also. So earlier there was only main branch. Now if you click on it, you can also see my branch one. So now this my branch one, you can do various changes in the file and see how it can be committed to the GitHub. So let us go to the same folder where we have our project. So let me open this file and let me add a file here. So print, let me call this as one more print statement. So let me save this. So once I save this, we go to GitHub desktop. So there are changes, it automatically shows what all changes are there, and I am trying to commit these through my branch one. So through branch one I am trying to commit. So let me call this as first change and commit to my branch one, which means that in my GitHub account, in my branch one branch, you will see these changes. So let me click on this and push origin. You can click here or here. Once you push origin, you can now see, you can see here my branch one had recent pushes less than a minute ago. So there were some changes. So let us see those changes. So you can either compare and pull request. So create a pull request here. The base, this is main branch and this is my branch one. So there were some changes which we did it through GitHub. We did it directly in the Python file in our computer, and those are first seen in GitHub desktop, and then we have fetch origin. So those changes are pushed to the GitHub account. So now we are trying to compare between the main branch and the my branch one. So if you create pull request, so you can see here, if you go to files changed, you can see those changes what you have made. So you have added a new statement, print India. This can be observed here also. If you go to code, your main branch will contain mytest1.py, which is just print hello world, and your my branch one will contain print hello world and print India. Now what I am trying to do is I am creating a pull request and uh, trying to make or merge the changes which happened in the my branch one to main branch. So let us see how do we merge the changes from my branch one to main branch. So view pull request. So once we click on this, you can see here merge pull request, which means all the changes what are there in the my branch one can be appeared or can be made to appear in main branch. So when you do merge pull request and create confirm merge, so now you go to the main code and see the main branch mytest1.py, you can see the changes has appeared. So you made a change. So you made a change in my branch one branch from the local repository. First you made the change in the Python file, and those are automatically tracked into GitHub desktop, and you kind of pushed those changes into the GitHub account. Once you push the changes, you have created a pull request through GitHub account, and you were able to compare the changes and then make the changes get reflected in main branch. So this is how you can have a collaborative working where you can work on your local computer, and later whenever you feel that some good progress has happened, you can commit those changes so that those changes will get saved and those will be reflected in your main GitHub account. So once the whoever is operating this project, if you get convinced with the version you have sent, and you can have even the multiple versions, multiple people working on, and your multiple versions are coming to this main account, and whichever version is good, the main lead is going to merge that particular branch into the main branch. So this is how you can work on local repositories. You can create, this is how you can create a project into a repository, and this is how you can access through GitHub desktop in your local machine, and all the changes would automatically get reflected in your main GitHub account. Suppose so we have seen this. So suppose if you want to kind of delete a repository in your GitHub account, how to do that. So let us also see that. So this is the account which I have created, my test one, So let me go to settings. So, and I want to completely remove this repository. So here you have the delete this repository. So you just need to copy this and paste it here, and I understand the consequences, delete this repository. So now this repository is gone. So also here you can see that, okay, this here in the local machine it is still there. You can also delete here or through the folder. So in this way you can connect between the GitHub desktop and the GitHub account.